Another beautiful morning in the Himalayas takes the entourage back on the Leh-Manali National Highway. The highway, at an average elevation of more than 10,000 feet, is said to be a major challenge for motorists. It contains 5 mountain passes, 3 of which these bikers will cross during the course of the day. After a brief stop over at Pang, next on the agenda are the 21 hairpin bends of the famous Gata loops. Negotiating these bends is a tricky task, no doubt. The Royal Enfield Himalayan Odyssey is moving towards Keylong in Himachal Pradesh. It crosses Sarchu to enter into the state and then begins its ascent to Baralachla at 16,500 feet. Going up is difficult. In contrast, coming down is a breeze until they reach this point.
Now they go through a lot of challenges and difficult ones at that, but what bikers fear the most are these knee-deep water crossings. As you can see, another biker is taking a fall behind me, and what is making matters worse is that the snow has melted. We are crossing this post-afternoon, so the water has become really, really deep.
The long and tiring ride gets a fresh boost as the riders take on this dangerous-looking water crossing. With conviction in their hearts, prayers on their lips, the bikers take to the water one after another.
Oh, the crossing was fantastic. Actually, the first time when I went in, I needed help, and this was the first time that I actually did it without help. And yeah, my feet are numb, but otherwise, I'm great.
Oh, I was extremely paranoid about water crossings. It's the first time that we got the 2 major water crossings between Keylong and Sarchu. I had to stop in between the second one, and I couldn't cross it by myself. I had to take some help. From that point, I was completely paranoid.
I thought with the momentum, I should be able to get out of it, because that's what I thought, that's what the plan was. It failed. Cold chill blowing through your feet, and you're standing there waiting for somebody to come and help you out of that place.
The water is fast, it is deep, and it is very, very cold. You're never sure if you're taking the right path or speed getting into a water crossing. Momentum is the most important thing. If you hit a big rock and get stalled, it is very difficult to come out all by oneself. But luckily, both advice and help is always around with bikers riding in a big group like this one. This is what binds these bikers together. The camaraderie is great and the riders are always there for one another.
One highlight of this entire trip is the camaraderie that all riders share. And regardless of where you're from or which group you're in, if you're stuck at some point in the road, it doesn't take calling to get somebody to help you. Everybody's so forthcoming that it's really, really exceptional.
We are riding, we are learning from each other, and that's something, it's amazing, taking short breaks, talking, taking snaps, enjoying the beauty out here.
It takes a long time before all the bikers are finally able to cross the cold waters, and soon they reach Keylong, the center of Lahaul Valley. The scene is familiar whenever the ride reaches a fuel pump. They come few and far between. This one has come after more than 350 kilometers. Naturally, the bikes are thirsty and they can only quench their thirst one by one. A regular feature of the Royal Enfield Himalayan Odyssey each year is Sachin Chavan, the mentor and the lead rider of the group. Every rider looks up to him for riding tips on these difficult terrains. Each morning he briefs the entire lot of the challenges that lie ahead in the day, and that helps the riders prepare in a better way for the ride.
2 weeks on a bike, even on normal terrain, is not very easy. And the Himalayan Odyssey becomes especially challenging because you face very diverse weather conditions, right from about 40 degrees to -4. And the terrain also varies completely, right from smooth tarmac to very, very rough roads, a lot of water crossings. Then you have rain, snow. It's quite a challenge to be on the Himalayan Odyssey and survive for 2 weeks.
Look out for the learnings, and a couple of those have come from what Sachin says. Like one thing he said was, you will go where you see. So in a way, look where you want to go. Now, looking that you're driving a machine, I think it's true in the real life also. When you are working in the organizations and you want to pursue your goals, you will go where you're looking at.
I am a much better rider thanks to Sachin's tips.
Sachin, a Ladakh veteran, believes hills are a true test of bikers' skills.
I think for a motorcycle rider, hills is what it's about, because anybody can ride a bike in a straight line. I mean, motorcyclists look for corners, they look for changes in direction. I mean, a motorcycle has 2 dimensions of motion, whereas a car has only 1. So that's what makes motorcycling so much more exciting.
This is the most difficult ride of the trip. Referred to as another K2K, the 180-kilometer long stretch from Keylong to Kaza is full of gravel, mud, rocks and water. Basically everything but tarmac. As the riders leave the Leh-Manali highway and turn towards the Spiti Valley, the true test for them as well as their bike begins. The bikers need to keep a close watch on the narrow road as it is full of stones and rocks. One mistake here might be fatal. The ride along the Chandra river is the most fascinating. The riders relish the experience but tread extra caution.
Roads that haven't seen tar ever, only the mud, the stones, the pebbles and the riverbed. It was amazing.
In a way, the ride to Kaza was a test for ourselves, for our bikes, how you handle things and how you remember the tips given in the briefing.
It's all rocks and it's all pebbles and there's practically no road grip. It's worse than off-roading. But you know, beyond a certain point, you get used to it and then you can just, I think practically everyone was just zipping down that section. But it was one of the places where there's really no road. So you want to test your vehicles, come over there and your skills, you should do the Keylong Kaza stretch.
On top of that, regular nemesis come back to haunt the riders. The water crossings are a regular affair on this road, and as much as they avoid, the shoes just have to get wet. No one knows the perfect trick of getting through them, but just hope that what they are doing is right. If the bike does take a fall fighting the flow of water, it is a big challenge.
For me, it was come in slow, see where the other riders have got stuck and some who haven't got stuck. Try and take the line that people have not got stuck. Try and not put your foot down and keep accelerating. Keep the throttle on. That's it.
I said, okay, I think it can be done. Let me just clear my mind, empty my mind. Let me not think about what is there. Let me just say, okay, I will be able to cross. So both the times, the bigger ones, I was able to cross.
Your shoes get wet. It's glacial, icy waters. And beyond a point, after a point, you start enjoying it.
Depending on the depth of the water, you need to adjust your speed. So you enter in a speed that is conducive for that water crossing, and you're basically trying to throttle off. It's also very important that you don't allow your engine to go off. And even if it does, then it's again important that you don't start it if your exhaust pipe or air filter is under the water level.
And yes, with so many people watching, you do not want to be making a mistake.
That little niggling thought at the back of the mind is that it might get embarrassing.
Like even for me, when there are 20 people watching and there's a camera rolling, you do feel a little bit nervous. But the positive side of that is that in case you do flip over, at least there's somebody to pick you up.
The last mountain pass on the journey is now awaiting the brave riders of the Royal Enfield Himalayan Odyssey. The Kunzum Pass has some magical views around, and every passing vehicle takes a detour of this temple on top of the pass. The faith is that it guarantees safe journey. Getting down from the pass, the riders get ready to enter the Spiti Valley.
All the bikers agree that this has been the most fun-filled, adventurous as well as the toughest day on the Royal Enfield Himalayan Odyssey so far. The ride from Keylong till Kaza has been nothing short of extraordinary. Now as we get ready to cross into the Spiti Valley, we hope to see some roads, something that we haven't seen till now.
But before that, the gang stops at Losar to take some rest after a really tough ride. At last, tarmac becomes visible as the group starts for Kaza. Spiti Valley is a photographer's delight. The strange rock formations as well as the landscape forces the bikers to apply brakes more than they would like to. Finally, Kaza, the capital of Spiti, arrives. And what welcomes the riders is a full festive atmosphere.
Well, there cannot be a better day to come to Kaza in the Spiti Valley. The Dalai Lama's birthday is the biggest day of all in the entire year in the Spiti Valley, and the entire town in Kaza is eating, feasting, celebrating and dancing.
The entire town is celebrating the birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The Buddhist monastery here is decked up for the occasion and the entire town is joining in the festive mood. The remaining few days' ride from Kaza to Delhi is much easy in comparison to what the bikers have achieved in the last 10 days. As they look back, it feels almost unreal, but sure, they have done it.
So now I'm confident that whatever it is, I can do it. It made me discover something about myself that if I set out to do something, I will do it. And there is nothing which stops me.
They fret at the thought of getting back to their regular lives. The offices, the laptops, the bosses, and well, the traffic jams.
6.5 years in front of the computer and now on the bike for 15 days, nothing comparative, nothing comparative. It's just amazing.
I've been feeling a slight bit work sick, but I have these beautiful memories to carry forward. So whenever I need a break, I'll just put on my video camera and look at the memories.
I'm just shuddering to think how I'll catch up at work again because I've been completely out of off the grid in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be an amazing experience and we'll talk about it for many months to come.
But one bond has become stronger, much stronger. The bond between a man and his machine. Bikers mutually agree that the learning they're taking with them has made them better riders and understand the machines better.
I've been driving this for the past 2 years, but the relationship or the emotional feeling towards the bike has been increased more, during these days. And yeah, it took hard beating, I can say that. The bike has taken hard beating.
Understanding of the bike, what it can do, and the person, so the man-machine kind of thing. It's almost very philosophical, but it's almost like Zen in the art of motorcycle riding. You get to understand and appreciate your bike.
I bought this bike basically for the Himalayan Odyssey. So now it has become a special thing for me.
I think whenever any two entities pass through a difficult time and stick together through it, the bond always goes stronger.
They sure passed through a tough time and they leave with a promise that they will be back to these mighty mountains, to these very same places where God lives.